crick, crack. That's what you're supposed to say. You remember I chose a very special storyteller last week, and she gave me permission to do a part two. Amina Blackwood Meeks, PhD, international storyteller, educator, motivational speaker, and so much more. But somebody who's ensured that she made a difference in the world in whatever sphere she operated, whether it was at primary school, high school, the University of the West Indies, and in the world of work. So she's allowed me to continue this conversation, or this story would be more like it. Jack Mandora, at this one me choose. Amina Blackwood Meeks is back with us for the second time. And perhaps where we should start is, what did you do after you left the university with a degree in government and political science?
I went to teach. I had always wanted to teach. Yes, Faye, during the summer, me used to collect up mango seed. And when I had enough mango seed, me split the bottom and me put each mango seed pan a buckle. And when I had like 30, that was my class. And I teach them.
So why did you go to Teachers College? Why did you go to the University of the West Indies to do political science and government?
I could try for an earthly explanation. I could try, and I could try to rationalize it. But I really do believe you come to a point in your life where you recognize that you didn't choose. It was designed, it was ordained. This is what you should do to end up where you ought to end up. And
Where did you go to teach?
I went to teach at a school in Manchester called Beaumont Comprehensive School, where we had like 110 children into one history class. All right, so we did leave Manchester very quick.
You could have managed 110. And where did you head to after that?
Tarrant Secondary School.
And this was history you're teaching all the time?
And drama, yes. And then some wonderful things happened at Tarrant, like it never worked out. And one day when I went to get my pay, I did see a pink slip in the pay envelope.
So long, farewell. What did you do while they got rid of you? Or what didn't you do?
It is what I did, really. It was beginning to be the turbulent part of the 70s. And everybody was watching everybody else. And I used to keep a little notebook on the principal. And one day we were in a meeting and he did say something that never goes so. And I got out the little notebook and I remind him of how many times he had told that story and how many different endings the story had. It wouldn't be so bad if the out of order teacher them never start clap on them desk and say, go there, Blackwood, tell him. So Blackwood, I tell him. And him, watch me. Never said a word, except for the pink slip. So that was that.
So did you continue with teaching?
It allowed me to go home and have my baby.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, it allowed me to go home and do that and contemplate what I wanted to do next. And so I was at home for almost 6 months with my baby. And I got a call from somebody I never really know. And him same name, Easton Lee. And him same here, so I could write. And him same work at a place named API. And him said he was launching something called Heroes Week. And he wanted a program for Heroes Week. And I said, I've never written for radio. What am I going to do? And I went to see him, and he gave me an idea of each of the 5 programs that were broadcast between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I write 5 programs. So I'm going to choose one. And him use all of them.
That's how your life started in media?
That's right.
Were you then employed full-time at the API?
Yes.
And for how long did you stay there?
I stayed there until the beginning of 1981, when some other things had happened in 1980.
We refer to the 1980 general elections, yes, and the
Yes.
change of government.
Yes. And after that change now, I turn up one day at API, 58A Halfway Tree Road, like I work there. And I say later that say, you no longer work here. We are transferring you. We are transferring you to the Ministry of Mining and Energy, where I got to do some wonderful work in energy. I now became an energy information officer. And we were big into conservation at the time. And I had to learn about the different kinds of energy, how you waste it, how you conserve it. And them send me away for a good length of time to go to America to do all of this. And I came back and was the energy information officer at a time when Jamaica had said, whatever year it was, we should have conserved 10%, and we conserved 9.5%. Yeah, and so I take part of the responsibility and the praise for that. So I got to stretch myself in a different direction.
But you had to leave there.
Yes. Boy, may I tell you, my life is about leaving to stay. Because other things had happened again. And I was told another, bye-bye. So, all right. So I take up my little kit and caboodle. And a gentleman called Hopton Gordon was a scientist. And he used to do seminars. And I now became his seminar organizer. And one day he said to me, you know, there's a gentleman here from CARICOM, and I think you should apply. Apply. Anyway, I write up something in my handwriting. And he gave it to this gentleman. And I waited, and 3 months passed, and I got a telegram. In those
Not
days.
a fax,
No.
not a WhatsApp message,
No.
not an email, a telegram.
That make you afraid when telegram come.
Because you think something horrible
Yes. And I got a telegram to say, your ticket is at X place, your interview is at X date, you come into Guyana to do this interview. And I went to the CARICOM secretariat, and I did my interview, and that's a long story. I won't tell you how the interview went, but I laughed all the way through it, and I came out thinking, you'll not get that job there. And so I waited and waited and waited until Christmas. Interview was July. And in December, a lady called Audrey Hinchcliffe ring my doorbell and say, I have a Christmas present for you. Well, I only met her once at CARICOM. So what's this Christmas present? She brought me my letter of offer to come and work for the secretariat. Yes.
In what position?
Well, now, I went in as a conference officer. Within 2 months of my getting there, Eldon Mathurin, who was my supervisor, called me and gave me a draft job description to comment on, because they're creating a post now at CARICOM called Protocol and Public Affairs Officer. So I mark it up, this can't work, I give him back. And a week pass, I get it back typed up. That's your job. Yeah.
The CARICOM experience took you how many years?
The CARICOM experience had me in the Caribbean for close to 15 years.
But you lived in Guyana,
I
but
lived
also
in Ghana.
in
I
the
lived in Antigua.
Eastern Caribbean while you were doing the CARICOM work.
Yes. Yes.
When you look back in 30 seconds, how would you characterize those 15 years for you?
Invaluable in terms of emotional growth, psychological growth, intellectual growth, understanding that we really are one people. Absolutely invaluable.
Did you have your son with you then?
I had my son with me, and every time I had to go a place for a week or less, I carry him with me, because I couldn't have him out of school for more than a week. So he also has grown up feeling like a Caribbean person and knowing what that means.
What year did you go to CARICOM?
83.
And you spent 15 years.
I came back home in 97.
What brought you back to Jamaica?
I'd given all that I could give, especially in my Antigua years, because I took many things upon myself. I took upon myself establishing theater for children. I took upon myself taking them to Carifesta. I took upon myself taking them to Belize for the Year of Indigenous People. I'd given all that I could give, and I wasn't being replenished.
So you needed to do that.
Yes.
Let's take a break and I'll allow you to replenish for a few seconds.
Okay.
Amina Blackwood Meeks is my guest, storyteller, educator, and somebody who played a very important role in CARICOM. We'll be right back.